Welcome to Sierra Leone Spearo. My name is John Campbell. Join me, friends, and family as we spearfish an adventure in Sierra Leone, West Africa. Look at that sunrise. Good morning. We've been running just about an hour, not quite halfway, and look at that sunrise. Beautiful West African sunrise. All right, here we are at the spot. About a 3-hour run to get here. Water's not looking fantastic, looking a little bit green. Hopefully it's huntable. See you in the water. We jump in the water and the current is absolutely ripping. You can see that prop spinning. That's just from the current. We're anchored up. Michael takes the first drop. You can see him disappear into the haze, but look at this sight. This is beautiful. Those are all huge African Cubera. Most of them over 10 kg, probably up into the 25-30 kg range. And Michael comes back up to tell me obviously I'm super excited, but the visibility is not great. The top is a little bit clearer, but as you drop down you can see the particulate in the water. You can see these big fish coming in and out, and I've only got, I don't know, maybe a meter and a half of viz. So it's really hard to line up on these fish as they dart in and out of this cloud of murk. So I'm excited the fish are there, but wondering if we're going to be able to close the deal. We moved the boat, re-anchored on a different portion of this. This is a shipwreck, and it ranges from like 30 feet at the top down to 60 feet at the bottom, and we were diving in kind of a mid-level place. We decided to try to find the shallowest spot. I'm hoping that being in the upper part of the water column would get a little bit better viz, and that ended up working out for us. You can see Michael approaches the top of this structure, and with that structure there and being in the top 30 feet 10 meters of the water column, got a lot better visibility on these fish. They're still really twitchy. You can see them kind of just darting in and out of view, and Michael's not able to put together a shot, but we're excited that it looks like it's going to be huntable. I'm up next. Really excited to try to close the deal here, and I don't even get to the bottom, and this shoal of fish comes up to see me. You can see how twitchy they are sometimes. I'm able to get a bead on this guy right here, but I should be hearing him. But this breakaway line gets away from me just long enough for that fish to get down into the rocks, which is really disappointing. It's hard. He got into deeper water, got himself rocked up. Got one. He's rocked up. There's some big ones. See, I couldn't get a beat on a big one there. He's not bad.
I got you at 34 hands.
So you can hear Michael say, I've got you. The current, keep in mind, the current is still ripping like crazy. And so even for me to be able to work on this float line, I've pulled the float up moving the clip up that line to be able to keep pressure on this fish. And Michael's holding my weight belt so I can just let go with both hands, because in a matter of 20 seconds, you've already drifted past our safety line. Take a little bit of time to breathe up. Once that line is secured on the clip, this is me diving down the line, and I see the first spot that this is hung up on, this piece of structure sticking up. You can see a piece of structure fall off there. I pull that loose and hope he's gonna pop right up, and I can tell he's still stuck.
You want to take a dive and see if we can get it? A little bit. It's not greasy deep. That was 40. He went down, and then underneath the ledge I was only able to get to the first ledge, and then it was up current. So I was like, well, crap.
So Michael went ahead and dove. He was able to get down and see that the fish was still on there, but he wasn't able to get him loose. And this is my second recovery dive, going after this fish. You can see the visibility really dives off as I get closer to this fish. Shooting line's kind of wrapped up in this net. I go ahead and grab the spear. I can see the spear. And I get my hands on this spear, and I'm sure I have this fish, because I think this fish is on the spear. Little did I know that that fish was just on the shooting line. I had strung the fish, and I thought the fish was still on the spear. I was absolutely crushed to lose that fish. It was probably in the 18 to 20 kg range, would have been the fish of the day.
No! Stupid! I had that fish in my hands, man. I should have just been patient. It was under a ledge, and I cut it. I thought he was on the spear, and he was strung. I grabbed the spear, started to come up with him, and he took him off the spear. Dang it! Big fish.
I hate injuring fish and hate making mistakes like that, but I should have been patient. I should have brained that fish on that first dive, taken my time, come back down. It's diving in that hazy water can be nerve-wracking, and I was really hoping to get that fish on that second recovery dive, but I rushed it. You'd think after the last fish that I got rocked up that I would keep that float line in my hand. That's what I usually do, and I'm lucky on this one, and I'm able to recover that line and get this fish to the surface. But yeah, this morning was not my morning. I made a number of mistakes. You can see how far I drifted from that boat in just this dive. That current is absolutely ripping. As I fight this fish to get him up, I'm really happy because I got him out of the rocks, and I'm sure I have him in hand now. Fish in hand, or so I think, and the circus continues this morning. Luckily, I'm able to quickly get to this float line, keep this fish from getting back into that structure, and this time actually get him in hand and hold on to him. Oh yeah, now I remember. You're supposed to dispatch the fish and bleed it once you get it. I remember. This is not my first time out, I promise. Michael also wasn't having the best of mornings either up to this point. He had taken a number of drops and failed to connect. And he breaks that streak on this dive. The other fish make this one look small, but this is still a 20-pound Cubera. I'm up again, and the fish are here. We're just anchored on the perfect spot. Probably a lot of different locations on this wreck, but this is one spot where we can see them. Learned my lesson this time, and I've got that float line right in my hand, kicking for all I can, making sure I can keep this fish out of the rocks. As I come to the surface, Michael's right here to take the gun out of my hand, so I got both hands to fight this fish up. You can see this fish is scratched up from trying to get into the wreck.
He'll keep. Yeah, we're right on top of him. Woo. Michael, get into him. Your turn. Not a bad fish. It was bigger down there. Gonna go see if I can find his bigger brother.
This rope right here on the right hand side of the screen is the anchor line. Current's still moving pretty good, so we're all the way up at the front of the boat, diving to ensure that we can catch the safety line on the back of the boat. The visibility has improved, and we almost contemplated leaving this day because the visibility and current were so bad. Glad we didn't. These fish are incredibly powerful. Had that float line in my hand right when I shot, swam for the surface. You can see that fish. The line got wrapped. He was able to get down into the rocks even though I'm swimming with all I have. He's gonna make a mess. He's clearing up a bunch. But he got under a ledge. He got the line under a ledge. He was free and clear, but no, I couldn't pull because the line had caught. Oh, you want to try to see if you can take a dive and start?
No.
Nice. That was even better. What do you think, Michael? Should we shoot one more gigantic fish after this one?
Obviously.
Or should we just call it? After this is 12:30.
I'm gonna fit one more.
And we can fit one more?
One more.
Hold that sucker up sideways. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Unfortunately, the battery on Michael's camera died and we didn't get that fish on film. But I do decide to jump in and take one more. This fish I'm also able to keep from getting stuck in the structure. You can see he's scratched up and beat up from trying to get in under a ledge or get in a hole, but I was able to keep him out of it. spear still in them. Making it rain. So we're crushing it, and I think I know why. If you look, these snapper look like they're spawning. We've seen these snappers so thick at this spot that the fish finder thought it was bottom. And I am going to take another dive. When a fisherman says one more cast or one more dive, it's usually 2 or 3, so I promise this is actually the last dive. It was starting to get really murky, so we were getting ready to call it. I had something cool happen on this last dive. I'm on my way up. This big group of horseye jacks comes in. We really like these horseye jacks. They are very different from the Jack Crevalle, which have a really dark red flesh. These have like a lighter colored meat that's really delicious. I didn't notice this till reviewing the footage, but if you look behind these horseye jacks, you'll see some sneaky African Cubera that had snuck in and were swimming with this school, and I would have went for them if I would have saw them. What an awesome day diving. Here we are the next day after the fish have had some time on ice, pulling off the fillets. This is that horseye jack, and I wanted to show you the difference in color. The Jack Crevalle's meat is so red it almost looks like beef, and this is kind of a lighter color. We even eat it sashimi. You can see us taking care of it, breaking it down. Michael's making some sushi blocks there. I'll just let this play out. You can count and see the trays of awesome, delicious fish fillet we get. This is the horseye jack here, and then all the rest is snapper.
All right, we're gonna make some chimichurri today. And so I just have my food processor here and some about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. So we're gonna get that going.
Power's good. Should we turn it on?
Yes.
Yes,
let's
please.
turn it on. Okay. Then we're gonna add, a cup of cilantro, a cup of parsley, and half a cup of basil. And I probably did a little bit too much, so maybe we'll do some at a time and then add. Okay. And then we're gonna start drizzling in some olive oil, 3/4 cup.
you're done.
So now we just have to add some salt and pepper and Tabasco, and then we're gonna serve this on some grilled fish.
All right, got the grill nice and hot. Got our fish. We put salt, pepper, chopped up some onion, some adobo seasoning, and a spritz of lemon going on the grill. All right, here we are.
Try it.
Yep.
It's really good.
It's terrible. I'm gonna take another bite because it's so terrible. Why don't we make more of this? All right, that's all we got. Thanks for joining us.